Okay, let's try this again, see if it works. So, where were we? Did any of your coursework change? And did you have to study anything like map reading or navigation?
No.
No?
No changes.
And what Jim wanted to know about your memories of Professor Estabrooks or any other faculty members.
Yes, Estabrooks was very much involved in trying to get deferments for his majors, and he was successful. But we did have some experimental work that was part of a course he was teaching that tied into the military. One group of us, for example, devised a test to see if someone could be tested in advance for depth perception. And we went through all kinds of various things to kind of validate what we were doing. And we had the gem of an idea, but I don't think it was ever incorporated in anybody's selection to be a pilot, for example. But that was what we were trying to work on, and Estes was the one that was his idea, to see if things like that could be worked on by his students.
Now, I know you kind of founded the Colgate 13 as a response to being at war, to kind of raise spirits and...
Yeah, there was a kind of a groundswell. There were guys singing waiters at the Colgate Inn, and every now and again, if we were down there, some of us would get together and sing some barbershop, mostly. But little by little, there got a feeling of being together and singing songs that we wanted to sing, like barbershop and so on. And little by little, this was in late 1941, it moved into the idea of the Colgate 13. And 13 was established because the idea was to take one member of the group from each fraternity.
Yeah.
There were 13 fraternities.
Were there any other groups on campus that were doing anything similar to entertain or work with the USO or?
No, not that I was aware of, no.
And do you have any memory of the obstacle training courses and things that were set up on campus?
Oh, yes. It was bringing the war closer to home. It was quite unusual to see a battalion of guys out there with guns and bayonets and practicing hitting dummies and stabbing them with the bayonets. I mean, it was... these things suddenly went, whoa, what's going on over there? You know? And they went off by 1943, there were most of the students, like I think the figure was 8 out of 10 people on campus, students, were involved in the war effort. Involved in one of the services. Navy was particularly strong at Colgate, the V-12 program. Okay. I did not get involved in that program.
Jim wanted to know too if you remember the Flying Red Raiders. It was a flight training program.
I do not remember that.
Okay. He also wanted to know if you attended or remember the Colgate baseball game that was played against the Kansas City Monarchs of the Negro League, where Satchel Paige pitched? No?
I don't know where that was held, but I never heard about that.
So what else anything else you have to add about what kind of campus life was like during that time?
Yeah,
blackout regulations and all of that kind of stuff?
Yeah, one of the things that impacted after we started getting together, whereas we never got to be formally the Colgate 13 until July 4th, 1942. Before that, even back into 1941, when Pearl Harbor happened and so on, I've lost my train of thought.
Okay. How about this? How did your education at Colgate help you when you got to the Army?
Part of the psychology program was spending a week at a United States employment agency interviewing people for job placement. So I've spent a week up in Utica, along with some others, interviewing people, doing just that, and we had used the United States book of job descriptions. It's a big, thick thing, but it had job descriptions all of, and you tried to use this to, as people describe what they did in civilian life, and you filled out a Form 20, which was the base record for everybody in the Army. So can we pause?